Fortune cookies say.
You're listening to the Epic Fail Podcast.
Episode 3! Yay! We made 3! Woohoo!
Yay!
Praise.
Yeah. We're missing a host again. We're going to have to find where he lives and assault him or something.
That really got out of hand quickly.
Well, you know. Anyway, I am Draven Dresden, as always. Well, most of the time. And this is Epic Fail. With me, from Canada, actually.
Ew.
I know.
The
land of lack of pennies. But Spock
get it.
$5 bills.
What?
Yes.
Carry
Yes,
on. Sorry.
We have.
Wow.
How you doing, Charlotte?
I'm good. I am Scarlet from Airy Peak, and Blood Decays are awesome.
Overpowered. Excuse me.
But they're only good for 5-mans.
Apparently only for 5-mans, yes. How is everybody?
Doing good.
Very well.
Yay.
How about you, Lat?
I'm good, guys. Lat from CTR Airy Peak here. Just got done raiding, got a cold beverage, ready to rock and roll this evening.
Yeah, rock and roll.
Yeah!
Yeah.
Oh,
And I've been hinting all week about a special unnamed guest.
Before you go any further, can I say that your hints are terrible? Horrible.
Damn!
I'm just saying, I have no idea what this means. Anything in the realm of
If I say no, can I go back in time and make you not say that?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess you can say it then.
Okay. Please.
It's someone who literally needs no introductions. Fail number 2, because we had a record fail prior to the show. So I'm not going to give him an introduction because he doesn't want me to.
We have our special guest.
Special guest, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. It's not that I didn't want you to give me an epic introduction. I just knew if you gave me an epic introduction, it'd probably fail epically. But for those who haven't heard my voice before, I am known as Ro from AIE on Earth and Ring, and very occasionally on CTR Airy Peak.
Oh, I didn't know you were on CTR Guild.
I do. I have a Night Elf Mage that is currently 94 in AIE, not AIE, in CTR Shaw. I'm pretty sure it's CTR Shaw. And so far, I have leveled from 90 to 94. Well, 90 to 91 was through questing. 91 through 94 solely through Garrison XP.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Woo!
That's
Garrison
how
XP.
I've got 4 characters just literally doing nothing but Garrison stuff. I'll log in, do that, log out, next character, same thing over and over.
Well, I meant to actually have this mage up to 100 by now and participating in raiding and such, but I did not realize just how much of a time sink Garrisons would be on my main character, my Warlock on Earth and Ring. And that combined with work, combined with this little podcasting shenanigan thing that I do every now and then, combined with Steam games that grab my attention for a week or two at a time, and I have not had the time I've wanted to devote to the mage.
Oh yeah, I understand how that is. How many podcasts are you on now, regularly?
So I have one that I do on a weekly basis called Realm Maintenance. Mm-hmm. And there is another called Extended Maintenance, which is just a few episodes into its run. And it's a podcast that I do with Alternative Chat about, on average, once every 3 to 4 weeks, although we had a wild hair this past week and recorded 2 in a row on the same day.
Wow.
Yeah. But yeah, those are my 2 ongoing things, but it's usually I end up guesting on one podcast or another, on average, once or twice a month, and I do little things here and there, and then I listen to a whole bunch of podcasts, and I'm a podcast nerd.
Oh, yeah. I listened to quite a few lately, also. And of course, yours are always on my list. I'm not brown nose or anything like that. I really do listen to yours
Just check
and
his
have for a
info.
while. Okay. All right. No. All right. Since you are our first guest, I figured we'd do a short Q&A, 2, 3, however many questions we come up with real quick for you.
Okay, the first answer is 8.
Okay. Well, I was actually going to ask about, since we are called Epic Fail, the most epic fail you've ever done personally.
In life or in World of Warcraft?
We'll go with
caveat.
We'll go with in game because I don't know if everyone wants real life stuff
I don't
out
know
there.
if I want to reveal those deep dark secrets. My most epic fail in World of Warcraft. Wow, you know what? It would have to go back to one of my first experiences where, as a level, man, I must have been like a level 20 something warlock. I ended up killing a level 70 warrior.
Wow.
And the way this happened was, it was my first week playing World of Warcraft. My friend named Jet Seraph, who he doesn't play anymore, but he kind of brought me into the game, and I joined the game around the time that Zulamon had just come out. And he was helping level my character, and back then, you could, as a high-level character, take a low-level character with you and just soak up the XP. So he took me through Gnomeregan. Now, Gnomeregan, the way the mob placement and everything was a very different beast back then. And I was of the appropriate level for Gnomeregan, and I had just not too long ago got my Voidwalker. I was really happy to have that blueberry with me. So we're going through Gnomeregan, we're doing that thing, and we end up, I think I ended up like falling behind a little bit as, Jet's just cleaving stuff left and right, and I took some sort of wrong jump or wrong turn. But I eventually caught up with him. The problem is that back then, pet pathing was nowhere near as good as it is now. I mean, pet pathing now is still kind of haphazard at times. But while I had caught up with Jet, my Voidwalker apparently decided that the fastest way to catch up with us was to traverse the whole instance, going through areas that had not been cleared. The next thing I know, I turn around and see I see the Voidwalker coming back on the map. I turn around and I see the Voidwalker coming back, along with literally the whole zone of Gnomeregan that hadn't been cleared. And I just type in very simply, something's coming. Just 2 words, something's coming. And Jet's like, huh? And next thing he knows, this whole pile of leper gnomes and robots and slimes and everything are all on top of him, and it was actually too much for him. So all these like high level 20 mobs or whatever killed a level 70 warrior.
Beautiful.
That is one of the most memorable moments I have of World of Warcraft. It was one of the first moments in game, and I mean, it was my fault, even if I didn't realize it. So I'd say that's my most epic fail moment.
Okay. I remember because my Warlock is Horde, and Undercity was the place I would always hang out. And I had just gotten the Doomlord, the one that you had like 5 people needed to summon it, and it would kill somebody.
Right.
And I would always summon it in the middle of Undercity near the bank and pray that it was me who died. Because back then, if it was the Warlock who died, the Doomlord would
he'd go after everyone else.
After everybody. Mm-hmm. And if there wasn't a whole lot of max level characters, he was going to wipe everything out. Because the entire city would pretty much converge on him. And he was big enough that he could just kill everything.
Right.
So that's one of my personal favorite Warlock moments. Scarlett, you have a question?
Well, it was actually about, I have a few, but The first one was actually wondering, how did you get into podcasting?
So I had been listening to podcasts since early Wrath of the Lich King, and I started with listening to The Instance, and the story behind why it was The Instance is because I was looking for guides or strategy on Lich King instances, and I simply typed in Lich King instance or something in Google, and the Instance podcast came up. So The Instance was the first podcast I'd ever listened to, World of Warcraft or otherwise. I didn't really know much about podcasts prior to that. And I liked The Instance. That led to other podcasts like All Things Azeroth, WoW Insider, Rarcast, some shows that aren't, a number of shows that aren't around anymore. And just over time, I listened to more and more podcasts. Around the time that, we were, I want to say it was late Cataclysm, because we were in that lull of Cataclysm before Mists of Pandaria started. And I was finding I wasn't in game a whole lot, but I still wanted to be involved somehow. I wanted to change things up. So I thought, well, Convert to Raid has people send in segments at the end of their show, just like The Instance does. I didn't feel like I could make a segment worthy of being put at the end of The Instance, but I thought, well, I mean, Convert to Raid's a pretty big show too, but maybe they'll give me a chance if I put something together. So I put a little segment together, and the first show I'd actually made a segment for was for my friend Jan, Something Suggestive. Convert to Raid and Something Suggestive, the segments for each of those shows were pretty close together. I'd only planned to do segments at the start, and then I was given encouragement and advice to like do more, and so I just took my love for podcasts and turned it into the Realm Maintenance Podcast, and things kind of snowballed and carried on from there.
That's pretty awesome.
Nice.
If you want to go again, Scarlett, or if you want to go.
By the way, is Scarlett here tonight or Charlotte here tonight? Because I hear.
Yeah, she's both. I'm literally. I'm still. Yeah, I'm gonna start calling her 42.
42. Mm-hmm. It's spelled Schar, so nobody knows how to pronounce it. I say
Charlotte.
I say Scarlet, but everybody else says Charlotte. So, we're both here. The multiple personalities are here.
We're here. No, we're not.
Roll, I got one for you.
Okay.
CTR, we're a raid-oriented guild, right? A big raiding community, and I know AIE is often considered the Horde sister sort of alliance to CTR, because they're both just massive.
Yeah.
What is your current involvement with WOD raiding? What are you up to in BRF, man?
So, in BRF, I am 3 out of 10 heroic. However, that's a bit misleading, because I've gotten those 3 heroic kills in a pug run that kind of carried me. So the way my rating goes, I started out with Lich King and Cataclysm being very, really hardcore, wanting to do endgame rating and stuff like that, and, trying the hardest difficulty stuff and really pushing myself. Over time, as expansion's gone on, I've been more and more casual about it. The main group that I raid with, called FERT, is actually a normal progression raid group, and we are not out of High Mall just yet. We are right now 6 out of 7 on High Mall. That said, I have cleared 7 out of 7 heroic on High Mall because I just hopped in with a pug group and did the full clear on heroic a couple of times. So I've killed enough bosses on heroic High Mall that I get mythic High Mall missions in my garrison, which has helped my item level a lot. Awesome. Basically, I guess the shorter answer to your question is, when my normal group, I am a normal progression raider, although I have the item level and the ability to run heroics in pugs if I have the time.
Very cool.
Yeah, Imperator is not an easy fight.
Oh no.
No, we just got our very first look at it just a few days ago, and I mean that's it on when I cleared it on heroic, yeah, that is a hell of a fight.
Oh yeah. And from what I hear, Blackhand on any difficulty is
Ooh.
Nuts.
Oh, did you see the video that Method did put out for the Mythic kill?
Yes.
That is crazy.
yeah,
Unbelievable.
that's all I'm gonna say. That's
A lot of hunters and a lot of boomkins.
No kidding.
got another question or Scarlet?
Let's round robin it, man. What do you got? I know you got some more for good old Ro.
Well, I mean, I got tons of questions. I just didn't want to take up too much time because some of them will take a while, and trying to keep maybe hour and a half.
Well, my goofy.
I'll try not to be
question
too
is-
long-winded.
Oh no, I wasn't like that. I'll let you guys go ahead.
My goofy question is, if you could hang out in real life with any character from WoW for a day, who would it be?
I've never been asked that before, and I didn't give it a whole lot of thought, but the very first name that popped to mind was Chromie.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and not because I'm into the hot female gnome-looking bronze dragons or anything like that. By the way, Chromie's, even though Chromie is her like non-dragon form is a female gnome, the name of the dragons is Chromaru or something like that, which, if you look at the history of bronze dragon names, implies that Chromie is actually a male dragon, which is kind of interesting. So you have this this interesting transgender thing going on in the bronze dragonflight, which is fine and all. It's just not a lot of people know that. But no, I'd say probably Chromie, just because bronze dragonflight, time travel, that stuff is pretty neat and cool, and there you go.
That is a pretty cool.
I was honestly figuring you were gonna say somebody else.
No,
Chromie the transsexual thing.
well, I think it was Dave Kozak or one of the lore people that said that the form that a dragon takes, their non-dragon form, they can't just turn into anybody, so the form they take is like the closest representation to the kind of person or personality they are, or whatever like that. So even if Chromaru is a male dragon, they've never actually even confirmed that or not when it comes to who Chromaru is as far as personality and character and stuff like that. The closest representation is a female gnome. So yeah, there you go.
That works.
The more you know.
Now you know.
And knowing is half the battle. G.I.R.O. Nah, anyway.
And I still lost because epic fail.
Epic fail goes to you tonight.
So Ro, we know you play WoW. Obviously, you got tunes in CTR and AIE. AIE. How do you pronounce that? Help me, please. I'm not a Latin guy.
Alea iacta est, which is Latin for the die is cast.
There you go. Awesome. What other Blizzard games draw your attention on a regular basis? Do you play much of Diablo, StarCraft, Hearthstone, Heroes, any of those?
StarCraft, I played the story mode of both Wings of Liberty and Heart of the Swarm. I suck at RTS, but I like the story and the game enough to play it on its easiest mode in story mode just to see how it all plays out. Diablo, I have this really strong love-hate relationship with Diablo. I'm not playing it much right now. When new stuff comes out for it, when a patch comes out, I will play it for quite a bit. I love dungeon crawler loot-based games, but I love the game for that aspect of it. I hate Diablo right now for some of the really weird decisions they made with the story, and more specifically, the way that Reaper of Souls ends frustrates the out of me.
Alright, spoiler alert, I've gone through and I have beaten Reaper of Souls and all that, but I don't remember the ending.
that's kind of the thing, though, because Reaper of Souls doesn't have much of an ending. Reaper of Souls is you kill Malthael, but the Black Soulstone was shattered, and all the demon souls have escaped and are loose again. So Diablo, the all of the 7 evils and stuff have escaped and are on the loose. And Tyrael says something to the effect of, I can see why this Nephilim is such a big deal, but could he be corrupted someday? And it's like, and that's it. It's like, all right, so is there going to be a second expansion? Because the way they ended Reaper of Souls feels like there really should be a second expansion, but we haven't heard any rumblings of it yet. I am hoping that this year at BlizzCon or whatever, that they announce that that the final part of a Diablo 3 trilogy is in the works, because the story can't end like that. It just can't.
Right.
And really quickly, it's funny that I mentioned StarCraft and Diablo because I play those 2 Blizzard games the least. I play Hearthstone a heck of a lot. Yay! I love Arena. I love casual play. I play ladder sometimes. When I get an itch to play ladder, I will rank up to about 14, 15, and then stop, just to get myself a decent head start on the following month. And for Heroes of the Storm, I will play roughly once or twice a week for maybe like 2 or 3 games.
Awesome. Busy man.
Yeah. I'm going to have a follow-up question. Which hero or heroes do you prefer? And then in Diablo, go ahead and answer that one first, and I'll go into the Diablo part.
So in Hearthstone, I know you were thinking Heroes of the Storm, but in Hearthstone, both. I prefer playing Priest or Mage when I'm building my own deck. When playing Arena, I prefer playing Shaman or Paladin. In Heroes of the Storm, I like playing Diablo as a warrior, Lily as support, Gazlo as a specialist, or Jaina as an assassin. And what was the other question?
For Diablo, since you had brought it up a while back, do you remember that leaked product slate that wasn't 100% accurate? Well, it did have 2 Diablo expansions on it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm figuring they're probably going to have something this year at BlizzCon saying, hey, new Diablo.
It would be nice, but you got also keep in mind that when that product slate was leaked, that was before we knew anything about Hearthstone. That was before Hearthstone just became this big, huge mammoth thing that it is now. That was also leaked well before they saw that Heroes of the Storm was going to be this important to them. Their stance on how they're approaching their games, especially from an esports perspective, has changed quite a bit. I mean, what was going to be Titan, they scavenged parts of that and turned it into Overwatch. So I really hope that the third part of Diablo is coming sooner than later. But with all of their energies focused on right now pushing Overwatch, pushing Heroes, pushing Hearthstone, and all those games were talked about PAX East, which I know we're going to get to later in the show, I feel like Diablo is something that they'll get to it when they're ready. I don't think it's something that's necessarily going to be pushed this year, which is kind of unfortunate, but I really want to see some closure to that story.
Well, I'm thinking that it may not be this year. It'll probably come out next year. Like they'll probably have like an announcement or something this year. And
yeah, if we saw a teaser cinematic for the third act, so to speak, of Diablo 3, that'd be great.
Yeah.
I don't know for sure if I'm going to BlizzCon. I am pretty sure I will be traveling to Anaheim during BlizzCon, and that because I'm going to be involved in that whole World of Podcast thing again. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure if I'm actually going to be getting into BlizzCon itself. It's not a high priority for me. It's kind of one of those things where if I can grab the ticket, great. If not, that's okay, because honestly, BlizzCon for me is more about hanging out with all these people that I only usually get to talk to on the internet.
Yeah. Well, I've already decided that I am going.
Cool.
So, yeah. One way or another, I will either see you outside or inside.
Awesome.
And you won't have any idea who I am. You'll be like, oh, hi, how you doing? I remember you. And then you'll turn your head, who's this guy?
Who's that weird guy?
Creep level 12.
Only 12?
Yeah, I was being nice.
All right, so, I mean, do you guys have any other fairly quick questions? I mean, I'm trying to keep it a little more contained.
You're going to go over an hour. Y'all admit it.
I knew we were going over an hour, but I'm hoping, right at this point, I'm hoping for 90 minutes.
Okay.
But, yeah. That, Scarlet?
Now my questions can wait.
Yeah,
Okay.
same.
All right. So, we generally have a format of going through the games in order. There's not really a whole lot in WoW, except for there's some hot fixes and stuff, which no one really overly cares about at this point for this patch.
The only big thing in WoW really was that cinematic, that spoilery cinematic that's been leaked, and I don't know if you guys want to really mention that yet.
I have no problem with it, but I don't know that they have watched it yet, because it just literally came out today.
Right.
Wasn't it?
I did watch it.
And I'm not overly surprised by it without giving anything away. Like, the only thing I'm really surprised is the end of who. But up to that, I kind of figured something like that was going to happen.
Much
yeah. So basically, for people who are still somehow in the dark on what the heck we're talking about, there is a new cinematic that was put in patch 6.1. You normally get to see it if you get far enough in the legendary quest line. Of course, this is the internet, so as soon as people unlock it and data mine it, it goes to YouTube, and then it spreads through Twitter, and everyone gets infected, and then people QQ about, oh, spoilers, oh, my experience is ruined, blah, blah, blah. Well, this is just how things are, but... as far I've seen the video myself, and even though part of me didn't want to be spoiled, that the other part of me is like, must watch, and I would have to say I'm not too surprised by what happened either, although it definitely throws into question what role some of the characters in the cinematic are going to have in the next raid.
Yeah, I would agree on that. I was
really, it's
oh, okay.
Much like Heimal with Mythic Imperator, it really throws in, if this is the last tier that we're going to get, which it's starting to look like it's going to be.
Yeah, I will say this, with this next tier of rating, whether it's the last one or not, they better not pull a Mythic Imperator
That's where I was going
on people.
With it. Yeah, that's where I was going with it.
Let everyone have access to the whole story.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, it's not a spoiler. Everyone should know that Cho'Gall shows up in Heimal.
Right.
Which
but only Cho'Gall
Mythic
shows up, but you don't get to fight him or take him down unless you do the Mythic fight.
Well, he's not in a Heimal unless it's on Mythic. He doesn't show up at all.
Well, no, he's in the cutscene after you kill Kargath. Right, when you first enter Heimal, he's in that cell right in front of the elevator, and then right after you kill Kargath, he appears and's like, "Hey, I escaped my cell. Now my guys are gonna mess up Heimal, blah blah blah." And that's all you see of him if you don't do it on Mythic.
Yeah, I forgot about that. But it's really looking to me like, even if it's not the last raid, I mean, we might get a one-off with a certain Warlock.
Yeah.
But
I'm in it. I'm the final boss of the raid, guys.
Alright, well, okay. Scarlet, you tank him. Lat, get a healer.
I don't row too strong.
But yeah, I mean, it's really to me looking like if we don't get a one-off, it's going to be a Mythic only, which I don't have a problem with hidden bosses as long as they're separate bosses.
Yeah.
But
that makes sense.
if Cho'Gall is in Heimal, then he needs to be there for every difficulty.
Yeah,
maybe not LFR.
Like the TOT sort of approach with Rod in.
Yeah, maybe not in LFR. I can understand, but that's all. You get the problem with LFR is to see the content too.
Now, it's funny, though. You said that there wasn't a whole lot of WoW news, right?
Yeah, and we're still going on about it.
And, well, we're still going on about it, but this is kind of even the minor thing compared to what I thought was the bigger thing, what they announced on Monday, right?
The token, man.
Yeah.
Token. Oh, yeah, I missed the...
But we had known that was coming.
Yeah,
for
we
a
knew
while.
that was coming. It's going to be in the next
Yeah,
patch.
but we got a few more details about it, I guess. So, that's why it's interesting the way they're handling it, how it's going to be entirely through the auction house. There are some people that have concerns about that. They're wondering, well, what if these things can get duped?
Ooh, yeah.
But if it's doesn't it arrive in the auction house, or how does it arrive?
I think they say they just mail it to you, maybe? I would imagine.
I
Just
hope it's not in the mail, because that's how, a while back anyway, I don't know if that's still the case, because I don't keep up on the duping thing, but I know a while back people were duping stuff out of the mail.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's up on the PTR now. 6.1.2 is on the PTR, and that gives me the impression that WoW tokens are going to be here sooner than we think. Definitely before 6.2, when small content patches are usually only on the PTR for roughly 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So the WoW token may be a reality before April Fool's Day.
April Fools.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be great if they just made 6.1.2 go live on April Fool's Day, even if it wasn't a Tuesday?
That would be.
Well, I mean, they're not limited Tuesday, as the launch was on a Thursday, which
Yep.
that worked out well for them.
I
The
think
only
April 1st is a
question-
Wednesday this year.
Yeah.
The only question I was thinking about is characters whose time has already lapsed won't be able to. At least it doesn't seem like they'll be able to use the in-game to get more time.
But actually, check this out. If your account has lapsed, you can reactivate your account using gold that's on your characters. And it doesn't have to all be on one character.
You can?
Yes. So
I did not know that part.
yeah, so like say your account with Jim Bob Gnome with 60,000 gold is inactive, you can log into that account and it'll say, "Hey, your account is lapsed, but you can do you want to reactivate it using the gold on your characters?" It will quote you the current gold price for a token, and if you say yes, then that gold will be deducted from your characters and your account will be back.
Does it get mailed to whoever was selling the token on the auction
think-
house?
Well, whoever you buy that token from will get the gold price that they put it up on the auction house for. You see, it's kind of a weird thing because while people are putting tokens up for sale on the auction house and you are buying tokens and reactivating accounts, Blizzard is really being a middleman here. One of the things that they mentioned is, say a person puts a token up for sale and the price at the time is 30,000 gold, right?
Yeah.
Whenever that token is bought, that seller is going to get 30,000 gold. But that token could end up being bought by a player on the auction house when the price has gone up or gone down. The buyer will still pay whatever the cost of the token was at the time they bought it, but the seller is still going to get the amount of gold that they got at the time they put it up for sale.
So maybe some exploits with people having 2 accounts.
That would depend on you really being able to play the system, I guess, and knowing when the market's going to go up and down. I mean, I suppose if you know that, like, I could see you play it so where, like, when content patches come out, right? When new content comes out, I could see that being a time of high demand.
Right.
For these tokens, because people want to reactivate their account and see what the new stuff is for a while and then hop out that month. So maybe there's a way to play the market like that if you time it right as far as when you're buying tokens and when you're selling tokens, but I don't think it's going to be necessarily all that easy.
Yeah, I'm looking at that system and like that's going to be so broken.
It's going to be interesting to see what effect it has on the economy, because the people who have hundreds of thousands of gold, and I actually I now have 400,000 gold on my character. This is coming from someone who never had more than 100,000 prior to Warlords. But you're going to see a lot of people with all this gold either stop their subscription and just continue to play the game through gold, and then you're going to see some people who have expendable income, and they're going to spend cash and buy these tokens to sell on the auction house to get buckets of gold. And it's going to shift around in the economy. It's going to shift around who has gold and who doesn't to a degree, and what impact that has on items and tradables, consumables, and all that stuff remains to be seen. I am hoping that it is not as disastrous as the real money auction house was in Diablo.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's honestly, that's where I'm thinking it's headed.
Well, I'm going
hoping...
to be a bit more optimistic than you, but I won't say that I'm not concerned.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping it doesn't go that way, but I'm not. I just have this weird feeling that that's where it's going, if it works at all. Because with the fluctuating prices, I'm just something's gonna break.
We have to hope that Blizzard learned a lesson in Diablo, and takes the appropriate safe measures, whichever they may be, to prevent it from getting out of hand.
And honestly, if it does get out of hand, I wouldn't put it past them to shut the whole thing down.
Yeah, pull it right back.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, whoever has token, like, if they do shut down the WoW token system at some point, I'm sure whoever has tokens at that point will still be able to use the tokens for months of game time, but I wouldn't put it past Blizzard to see how things go, and if it is not healthy for the life of the game, they'll shut it down.
Oh,
They
yeah.
shut down the real money auction house, they would do this for WoW tokens and WoW too.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And those two things are pretty much all there is for WoW news.
Yeah.
The cinematic and the token. Normally we would go to Hearthstone, but since that was at PAX, I'm going to group all the PAX games together. So we will hit Diablo next, which is Lad's personal favorite game because he's always
Yes.
there.
Yes.
The Diablo-holic.
Oh, yeah.
No comment.
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot going on Diablo. Season 2's in full swing. We got our first look at patch 2.2 3 weeks ago now, and not a whole lot coming out. One of the things that Draven got really engaged with was Ashbringer when that
Freaking
came out.
Ashbringer.
Freaking Ashbringer, man.
Yeah.
So the Diablo hater has...
I don't hate it. I just don't like it.
Key distinguishment. He's all but confirmed that he will play until he gets Ashbringer, at which point he's going to equip it, take a screenshot, and quit.
Yep.
We'll see how that plays out for him. But yeah, not a whole lot going on in Diablo. Just Season 2 full swing. A lot of people not real happy with the experience buff that's going on. That's letting people get some crazy high Paragon levels. I mean, I've seen some people at level 1,000, and I haven't.
You're just talking in PTR, though, right?
No, that's
No, that was live.
Oh, the experience buff is hitting the live realms?
yeah, because now we have that new gem that increases
Oh, the gem of the...
your
Was
ease.
it the unseen? Or
Gem of ease.
Gem of ease, right.
Yeah, so
I haven't played since... I haven't gone that gem yet, so...
I've
That's
got all
only
the
for
gems.
seasonals, right?
Correct. Right now it's season specific, but
Mhm.
once the season's over, that'll roll over to the live realm,
Right.
or the non-seasonal side of things, rather. But a lot of people capitalizing on that and just bashing through. I haven't been playing very much. I've been really vested in Warcraft for the last probably month or so. It's kind of nice. But yeah, well, all quiet on the Diablo front.
Did you see the tweet from John Yang earlier today about
did.
4-piece and 6-piece sets?
No.
So someone asked John Yang, who's a game designer on Diablo 3, and the tweet was it asked if 4-piece sets would become viable endgame sets, and they reply, and John Yang replied, "Yes, we want all the 4-piece sets to be endgame viable 6-piece sets, not just the EQ set."
Huh.
So I guess it may not all happen in 2.2, but some of the sets like Veers, and I know Veers because I play Wizard, but those sets will eventually get 6-piece set bonuses added to them over time.
Awesome. Yeah, that's good news. That'll open a lot of doors for people. They're always, harping about they want the build diversity, but really when it comes down to it, for each job, there's really only one or two builds that are viable to get you past, Greater Rift 35 or 40 even.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how that goes.
And I'm just going to jump in here and say, you said the word Veer, and instantly my thoughts went to Babylon 5 and the dude with the hair.
That takes me back.
Alright, that's it for Diablo?
That's it, man. Not a whole lot going on.
I'm just going to end Diablo with freaking Ashbringer.
Freaking ass.
I fully expect it to take me 2 to 3 years to get it.
That would be awesome.
Alright, yeah. They did have a little tiny tidbit for StarCraft during, was it Heroes? No, it was Hearthstone's tech issues.
It was actually Heroes had tech issues, and since Dustin Browder's also the main guy behind StarCraft 2, he killed time by talking about StarCraft 2 some.
Basically, it just turned into, we think this is the best campaign, it's got a strong dark tone to it. He didn't go into a whole lot of detail because he can't. I'm figuring this year they'll have more info on it at BlizzCon, which would be nice.
I think the beta for Legacy of the Void will be underway before BlizzCon hits.
Yeah, I can see that.
I mean, Legacy of the Void, in my opinion, is likely going to be one of their holiday big things, like something they're going to try to have available in time for the November-December holiday season.
Yeah, I can see that, but I'm also thinking they're not going to want to have too much coming out together, and we pretty much have been confirmed that that's going to be the time frame for Overwatch.
Well, for the beta.
For the beta, yeah, which is going to start small and get bigger.
Yeah.
But
they need something to make money.
Yeah, they need something to make money. WoW, well, besides WoW, and hero skins, which I need to stop buying. But I'm thinking probably beta for Legacy September-ish, honestly. Get some time in before BlizzCon, and then be like, hey, we're opening up beta to more people, or here's the release date, spring 2016.
Bold strategy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what else is happening spring 2016?
What's that?
The movie.
Ah, yes.
Mm-hmm. And probably the next expansion for WoW.
That too.
And if we don't get it at the end of this year.
I'll tell you what, though, if we get another expansion for WoW that soon, and that'd be great if that happens, then that expansion's not getting announced at BlizzCon. They need to announce it at, like, Gamescom or some other way.
Yeah.
They're going to announce a WoW expansion at BlizzCon, if anywhere.
Well, yeah, but if they do that and you say it's going to come out in spring, then that's like, this is the new expansion, and the beta is on now. They'll totally pull an Apple on people if they do that.
Well, I'm thinking that's what's going to happen with Overwatch. They're going to be like, hey, beta, anyone who's here, you're in.
We'll see.
I mean, they haven't done it yet, but one of these times they're gonna do something like that.
Is that speculation or hoping?
Football?
Yes. But yeah, that was it for StarCraft. So for those who live under a rock, PAX East was starting today. Blizzard's thing was first up, which was awesome and probably sucked for everyone because you lead with what is arguably one of the better product people. Overwatch, Heroes of the Storm, and Hearthstone. And I think that in that order.
Yep.
I say we start with Hearthstone because I know a certain Death Knight who likes playing that game.
Yay!
I don't play Death Knight. Oh wait, I don't play Hearthstone.
Yeah. Did you watch any of the pack stuff earlier?
I spent all my time today outside doing real life stuff, so I didn't get to see the videos,
Okay.
but I did get to read the articles.
Yeah.
So, yay, BLACKROCK Mountain.
Called it. Which,
Yep.
obvious, I'm not the only one. There was lots of people saying BLACKROCK Mountain.
Check out episode 2 to see where Dresden calls it boldly.
Yep.
Like 2,000 other people on the internet with him.
Yes. There is another one that I'd called for Overwatch that I didn't see a whole lot of other people calling. But we'll get to that later. So,
I know what you're saying.
Yep.
You were dead nuts.
Yeah. Sure. BLACKROCK Mountain was confirmed. It's going to be kind of like Nax, where it's winged and all that kind of thing. I think they said 5 wings.
Yeah.
17 bosses, which means there's a couple of them that are going to have 4.
Yeah,
From the
2
looks of
wings with 4 and 3 wings with 3.
Yeah. There's a new game board, which I thought looked pretty cool.
It's all fiery.
Yep.
You can click
Love
on
it.
eggs and make whelps appear.
Oh my god.
Well,
that's
I know Nax you can click on eggs and make spiders appear, so.
Yep, there are whelp eggs on the board. There's the Hand of Sulfurus. Ragnaros' hammer is in one of the corners. And I guess you can make that sink into the lava, but then after the hammer sinks into the lava, the community manager, oh my gosh, what's her name?
Nethera?
No, not Nethera. Oh my gosh, I'm totally drawing a blank now.
We apologize, ma'am. We don't remember your name.
It's anyway. So community manager was showing it, and instead in that lava pool there was this like little periscope thing that would pop up that you could click on, and you could see this eye moving in the periscope, and the periscope would go back down into the lava.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Lat with the save.
Yay! For a game you,
Well
you
played.
supposedly don't play.
I don't.
We're getting 31 new cards. They previewed 4 or 5 of them. And they're working.
Coming out soon.
Yeah, it's coming soon. Pre-orders are March 19th, 20th-ish. And as was said on PAX, the broadcast, that March 1920 wouldn't make a lot of sense if it wasn't coming soon. It's coming in April.
No TM after.
So
No TM.
this pre-order thing's really interesting to me because you get a special card back if you pre-order. And looking at the pricing details for this, the whole thing, it's very similar to Nax as far as the pricing details. You can buy it per wing or you can buy it as a bundle. The whole thing is a bundle. All 5 wings is $24.99. Or if you want to buy it wing per wing, it's either $5.99 or 700 gold per wing. The thing is, you can't pre-order with gold. So, if you want that special card back, you've got to cough up the $24.99 in the pre-sale before BLACKROCK Mountain launches. And considering that the pre-sale starts March 19th and 20th, and we don't know how soon into April they're going to launch this thing, that means most people are going to pre-order in those last 10 days of March, which... miracles makes the first financial quarter of the year really good for Blizzard.
Oh, yeah.
When you consider how many millions of people play the game and how many people are going to cough up $25 to get that card back and to be set for BLACKROCK Mountain when it launches, it's a great move business-wise.
Absolutely.
So you have to buy the whole thing, or can you pre-order like the first wing?
If you want the card back, you got to pre-order the whole thing.
And they did confirm earlier that you can't pre-order with gold?
Yes, I actually I sent a tweet to Zariah, which is why I was like going nuts because I couldn't figure out the name and stuff. And Zariah replied, "Cannot pre-order with gold." And there's actually, if you go on the site, they have a graphic with like the pricing details, and there's an asterisk and small print at the bottom where it says not available with gold purchases when referring to the pre-sale.
All right, because I know a lot of people were talking, save your gold. I'm like, they didn't actually say we could buy it with gold.
Well, here's the thing. If you don't care about card backs, you could just, buy the whole thing with gold and they'll set you back 3,500 gold. I am of the mind, though, that if you have the income, if you have the $25 to put aside for this thing, buy it with real cash, because 3,500 gold is the equivalent of 23 arena runs, and 23 arena runs in real cash would cost you $46. So if you look at the cash conversion that way, you're spending $46 worth of gold to buy BLACKROCK Mountain, or you can spend $25 and get the whole thing and get the card back.
And if you suck at arenas, if you can just save time and get yourself 35 packs.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's true too.
So the only other Hearthstone news is they are still working on the phone. And from what I saw, they're really close.
I bet you that so this is early March now, and they said that it was going to be available sometime within the next couple months. Wouldn't be surprised if it becomes available like the third or fourth week of April.
I found something out about the phones, though.
What's that?
On Reddit, you can get the downloadable file and play it on your phone now with some tweaks.
You can you can play the iPad version, or like that you can play the Android version that's meant for like tablets on your phone. Yeah, but it's kind of sketchy.
Is it? I haven't tried it.
Yeah, they're actually doing a full-on. This is for your phone, not for any other format.
Yeah, I know.
And the
that.
UI is optimized for the phone and stuff, right?
Yeah.
But just saying, there is ways to play it on your phone now. But I have a tablet, so.
Yeah, I play on either my desktop or my laptop. So.
But I'm excited. What do you, Charlotte? What do you think of the dragons mechanic with BLACKROCK Mountain? Are you excited to play dragon decks?
Yes, I like the dragons, and I think it'll start make, like, you know how right now it's like hand lock, maybe a hand mage, I guess that's what they're called.
Mech mage?
No, there's mages now who use molten giants, which is
like Echo and giants.
Not Echo,
using
but,
Echo of Medivh and with giants and stuff.
Yeah, Echo of Medivh, not the ooze. So I think it's gonna get more interesting decks using giants and dragons, and it's gonna be all kinds of interesting. It's gonna make playing. I like the cards that react to other people's hands. So one of them I was looking at, I tried to bring it up now, but I can't. But didn't it say if the other, like if you have a dragon in your hand, when you draw this card, deal damage to like your opponent and all that stuff?
Well, so the two that I know that deal with the dragon in hand thing, so the legendary Rend Blackhand is a 7-cost, 8/4, and when you play him, if you have a dragon in your hand, you get to destroy a legendary minion. And then there is a 2/4 creature, which when you play the 2/4, it's a 2/4 for 3 mana, I want to say. It's a 2/4, and if you play it, if you have a dragon in your hand, it gets +1/+1, so it becomes a 3/5 for 3 mana. The drawback supposedly being you're communicating to your opponent that you have a dragon in your hand.
That's true. But I don't know, I like reactive cards like that.
Mhm.
I was reading it on the go today when I was at the clinic getting some whatever done. So I didn't have a whole bunch of time to look at it, but it does seriously look amazing.
Is it wrong that I saw Black Hand and my first thought was kill your own Sylvanas and take one of their cards? Especially if it's like Ragnaros or something huge.
I like doing stuff like that already with Priest.
Yeah.
Killing Sylvanas and then stealing whatever they have.
Can you kill your own Sylvanas with Rend? Now I need to look.
It doesn't say enemy legendary, it just says legendary.
You guys are so violent.
If you're holding a dragon, destroy a legendary minion. Yeah, you can use Rend to kill your own Sylvanas. I did not think of that.
How many cost is he?
He's a 7 cost for an 8/4.
7. So you'd have to have Sylvanas on the previous turn.
Yeah. And I mean, she could be out for a couple turns at that point. He could come out at 10.
Yeah.
But you would literally have to set it up to take the card, leave the card you want as the only card left, and then put it out and do that. Because otherwise, since she's a random, you don't want to get like a 1/2 taunt or something.
Right.
Annoyatron, woohoo!
Yay. Hello.
Did you guys see the video of Deathwing versus Annoyatron?
No.
No, I
So it was so funny. This this replay. So this guy pulls out Deathwing. The board is obliterated, and then his opponent pulls out an Annoyatron, and he has no answer. So he's got to kill it with Deathwing, and then the turn where it's killed, and then supposedly next turn Deathwing can smash the opponent in the face. He pulls out another one. And then some other minions, and eventually killed the guy, and poor Deathwing never got to hit him at all. It was so funny.
Annoyatron living up to his name.
Yep, it was hysterical. I love the it wasn't, why am I blanking on names now? It wasn't Trolden's videos, but it was Epic Moments in Hearthstone, I think it was called, episode like 51. So if you have a chance, you should watch it. It was on Reddit. There was a good link. It was up in the main page, so it was hysterical.
All right, I think we've covered Hearthstone more than enough at this point. So, heroes. All I'm going to say is much Sylvanas. Yay.
Yay!
First, the video was really cool. I liked how they did that. Her abilities are going to need tweaking. Especially the ultimates, I think. They're a little overpowered, but that's what they're there for.
It is Lady Sylvanas, though.
Yeah, it is Sylvanas, so she should be semi-overpowered-ish, but I can see how a couple of them are going to be nerfed really quick. And then there's the new battleground, Tomb of the Spider Queen, which we kind of already knew.
The one thing that kind of surprised me about Tomb of the Spider Queen is when they showed you the video at PAX East, just how close together those lanes are. And they were talking about, like, you know, it's very much the opposite of Sky Garden or Sky Temple. The lanes are really close together, so you can hop from top to bottom or top to mid really quickly. It seems like it's going to be a lot of action happening right from the word go.
I can see, especially stealth classes, shining in that one, because if they're, like, say, your entire team, since it's 3 lanes, right?
Yeah.
Let's say the entire team is going to the top lane. Have a stealth class down in between the bottom 2 and let the minions fight it out, and you'll get XP for 2 lanes.
Yeah.
Things like that. I like playing Abathur the most. I'm one of those weirdos. And I'm thinking he's not going to be that great on that map because it doesn't look like there's a whole lot of places to hide. So yeah, him and Murky I think are going to kind of suck on that map. Which apparently, going by the stat stuff that they gave, Murky's getting left behind a lot.
So Sylvanas is like a sneaky or stealthy character, right?
Well,
You're shining on the new map, or
I could see her doing really well on the map, but she's weird from what I can see. She can be like a siege not like a siege tank, but she can literally just kind of stand there and clear lanes on her own. Which, by the way, don't let her do that. She's got really high DPS from what they said, and just that weird teleport ability. I think it's called Haunting Wave.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could see that. Does it do? Did they? Because I don't have ad blocker, and it went to ad for me right then. And then I missed her other ultimate possession because of ads, so that was fun. So I didn't see. Does it do damage, Haunting Wave, whenever it comes out and runs through people, or is it just a slow? 'Cause I know it does slow, but
I think it can do damage and kind of be used to help her.
Yeah, escape,
So-
escape or hunt.
Straight from good old fan site heroesnexus.com. Haunted Waves can teleport to a clone, used for charging forward or escaping. Then, as far as the two heroic abilities go, Wailing Arrow can shoot an arrow that does damage and silences in an area. The second heroic is Mind Control, which can take control of enemy mercenaries.
Yeah, that's the one I'm thinking is gonna get nerfed, honestly, because they get from what I was seeing, they have the mercenaries or minions or whatever that you mind control get a health buff and damage buff. That's where I think it's gonna get nerfed.
I think I would imagine that you have to talent into that. I could see them putting a talent for her in which controlled mercenaries get a buff, or there's already a talent for some specialist characters where if you're near mercenaries are stronger. So yeah, if you went for a particular build that focused on mercenaries and such like that, I could see that happening. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, it's one thing to see and hear them talk about Sylvanas. It's another thing to actually see how it's going to be like, getting your hands on the keyboard and actually playing her and seeing how it goes. She's one of the few characters where I want to buy, if I have Sylvanas, I want to buy the normal Sylvanas skin, the pre-Forsaken one. That looked pretty sweet.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll buy that one just because I like the Forsaken version. I probably would end up buying it at some point, but I probably won't use it.
Because you're a skin addict?
No, I have a few. I don't have a lot of them. But I have enough that I've spent too much money on the game that's in beta.
Well, that all gets transferred to live, doesn't it?
Yeah, that'll all go live from what they said. There's no more wipes. So the fact that I'm 39 for player level, I can hit 40 this weekend if I play it.
Hey, speaking of which, aren't you happy about what they said about no more talent gating if you're account level 30 or higher?
I'm so sick of this is the weekly character. You haven't played him yet. Here's one talent. Here's two talents. Here's a third.
Get some gold when you hit 42, won't you?
Yeah. For player account, 20, 25, 30, 35, and 40, 2k gold per. So the fact that I'm going to hit 40 before this goes live, that tells me I should get 10k gold, which is enough for another hero.
Here's the thing, though. when they have changed the gold at account levels in the past, they didn't retroactively give you those gold benefits. So I know you're saying, oh, well, I'm going to hit 40, then I should be getting 10,000 gold with the next patch. Don't necessarily count on it, because I was expecting something like that too. I've been around since early technical alpha, and they did that change, and I was expecting a bucket full of gold, and I only got a relatively small portion because, oh, well, I was already level 17, so I don't qualify for those bonuses or something.
Did they do a wipe since then though?
Yeah, this was before the last wipe.
Yeah,
where I experienced that. So I don't know how it's going to play out now. I'm just saying, if you don't see that 10,000 gold when they put this patch in, don't get too upset.
Well, I won't get too upset. I will be upset. I'll be like,
yeah.
Hey, I earned this. Just because I earned it before you said it was okay doesn't mean I shouldn't get the benefits of it.
Right.
And then they added hero levels.
But you got access to the beta. You're playing it before everyone else, so you got an opportunity to make all this extra gold.
I got access into alpha. Just at the end, just after their alpha wipe. But I didn't play it a whole lot because I wanted to play with other people, and then finally I decided, you know what, heck with it, I'm going to play it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started playing it more and not logging into WoW as much. And then Warlords came out, and I didn't touch Heroes for a month and a half or so.
Yeah.
But, that happens, new shiny. Speaking of new shiny, Heroes is getting yet another UI change. We're getting a score screen. They said it's not very good right now, but they're working on it. So that'll be at least nice. Mute allies, which you can go in and mute them singly anyway, so I don't get that.
I linked in Skype the score screen. Take a look. It's pretty.
Yeah. From what I saw, it did look good, so I don't know what they're talking about. That it needs, obviously they said it needs work, but...
Looks pretty cool to me.
Yeah.
It's shiny.
That's the post-match screen. I'm sorry, not the match. The match stats one just looks very similar to what you get when you press tab during a game. Yeah.
Which I actually just found out about last month.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Filthy casual.
Hey, at least I know how to play the game.
I tried.
I got nothing.
Yeah, you didn't even get through the beta though. You're like, I don't like this game. Goodbye.
I'm going back
Tutorial.
to Diablo.
Exactly. I know what I'm doing in Diablo.
That's because you didn't go through the tutorial that tells you how to play the game. You don't get all the nuances and stuff, but if you would have got through that, I would have been in a party with you. We could have gone and wrecked some noobs.
I am a noob. I would have got wrecked.
Yeah, but we would have gotten them too.
True.
I would have played Abathur, put a shield on you, you would have lived. At least another second or two. Team League is coming next patch, from what they said. And I believe they said you could have 9 people on a team, but you could still only have 5 to play at a time.
Yeah, you can have a roster of up to 9, so you can have backups and alternates and such. Yeah.
Yeah. And then clans, which sounds kind of like WoW Guild, that kind of thing. That says they're coming soon. That sounds interesting. So you join a group for whatever level of play you want. Like, hey, we're gonna Team League and we want to go to BlizzCon, be up on the stage, or we just want to wreck face and hopefully not get our faces wrecked too.
Woo!
Yeah. Looking at a rating system, they haven't really gone into any detail there. But that rating systems are good and bad in my opinion, because you're always going to have the troll, the best person on the team. This person sucks, get out, we hate them. Hopefully, it doesn't happen too often, but it's the internet, it's going to happen.
Yep.
Yeah.
But the two things, besides the gold and talent getting removed, the two things I'm looking forward to the most is the stim pack for free at player level 10, which I don't expect to get, seeing as how, at this point I'll be level 40 before it comes out. But the big one is the level 20 heroes, because right now, as was said at PAX, level 10, get your master skin, work on another character. Whereas when this comes out, you can get level 20. I'm assuming it's going to be a master skin or an ultimate master skin they'll put in there, and get that for probably 30k gold. But they haven't said anything about that. That's pure speculation on my part. But yeah, the 7-day stim packs, which would be cool. And you can level heroes up to 20 instead of 10. Those were two changes I really liked.
Yeah.
I mean, we can go into detail on Sylvanas' abilities, which we kind of skimmed them a bit. But there's a video on YouTube, just Heroes of the Storm, Sylvanas, it'll be there. It's awesome.
Sylvanas is easily one of my favorite characters in WoW lore.
She's one of many people's favorite characters in WoW.
Yeah, well, there's... I'm not going to get into the whole teenage boy thing.
I'm not a teenage boy, okay?
No, I understand that, but he said a lot.
This changes everything.
Charlotte's not a teenage boy, but she plays one on TV.
Right?
That explains so much. Alright, so that was really it on Heroes. A new Battleground, Sylvanas, and
you forgot something.
What did I forget? Where did it...
Heroes of the Dorm.
Oh, yes.
So their big tournament thing is apparently they're really pushing at the collegiate level and the teen and collegiate level, and they're going to do this tournament over the next several months where high school, college age people can form up teams, play for ranking and such like that, and the big finale of it will happen, get this, in late fall in California, although they never say BlizzCon. I think you can pretty much assume at BlizzCon.
Yeah.
So I think this is going to be what they highlight at BlizzCon as the big tournament thing, and the winning team gets their entire college tuition paid for.
No, I think it's just for that year.
For that year? Because they said $450,000 in prizes, so that made me feel like that's got to be like tuition for more than a year, right?
Unless they're going to Yale.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it'll probably be like have a little asterisk 4-year maximum or something like that.
Yeah.
Since it's 5 people, because it's gonna have to be the 5 that are on stage, not the 4 backups.
Right.
Which will make that discussion for those groups all kinds of fun.
Yeah.
Like, we know you're really good, but you suck against this particular character, and this guy's really known for playing that character, so you get to sit.
We're probably going to be on Sky Gardens, so yeah, murky, I mean...
Yeah. So that'll lead to all kinds of fun conversations that we won't be privy to, but...
I just find it interesting that they're going with that angle for their big tournament this year is what they're going to likely showcase at BlizzCon, as opposed to, well, maybe they'll do 2 tournaments. Maybe they'll have that tournament going along with another tournament with, like, pro teams where you have Cloud9 and Team Dignitas and whoever like that. But I don't know. As big as BlizzCon is, it still only takes place over 2 days, so I'm not sure they can do 2 big tournaments at BlizzCon. I think this is going to be their thing.
Yeah.
For Hearthstone, for Heroes, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking game's out, but the game is not out yet, is it? It's still beta.
Only if you buy the Founders Pack.
Yeah, it's still beta. So we'll probably get a release date either at BlizzCon or just before. But yeah, I'm thinking Heroes of the Dorm will be the tournament for Heroes.
Yep.
And am I the only one thinking that they chose this particular method of product placement or advertising or whatever just so they can keep it sounding like the same name?
Oh, what? The Heroes of the Dorm?
Yeah.
Not necessarily, because I mean, if you think about it, the target demographic for esports tends to be that age range anyhow, right? So it's just kind of a natural fit.
Well, okay, maybe only is not quite what I meant, but they saw that it fit and they were like, snicker, snicker.
Could be, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Speculation.
Mm-hmm. Did I miss anything else?
And I'll, as far as Heroes of the Storm goes, no. We just got a little something that we don't want to overlook.
Yeah, we were really wanting to watch out for something.
At
least in my case, that was why I tuned in to PAX. Some unknown game that's not even out yet. We haven't really seen a whole lot about. Overwatch, and this is where I called something last week, and actually I've been calling it in our little group me for a while since they first started hinting. The cowboy, or as I call him, the Eastwood wannabe, McCree, as a playable character. I was like, he's next, and he was the first out of the two, so I was right on that one.
Pat yourself on the back, sir. You nailed it. He took that in a very literal sense. You know what to say? I'm going to bed. I'm gone.
Yeah. The other one is the Russian bodybuilder woman, which, she looks cool. I'll give him that. But what is it with these burly...
Nobody caught what you just did right there. I love it.
What?
She looks cool. I'll give him that.
I didn't catch that.
I did not.
You just had to point that out. Dang it.
Oh,
all right, I will give her that. She does look cool and all that. But Azeroth Roundtable had this pretty much similar discussion. Are they okay with the stereotype of the burly Russian bodybuilder type, whether it's guy or girl?
All I can say is once he goes Zangief, there's no going back.
Needs a chest tattoo.
Well, we don't know that she has one. She was wearing, an outfit.
It's true. I think a breastplate would be... I honestly, I saw a picture of Zarya posted in one of the group me chats that I'm in, and my first question was, is that supposed to be a girl? Because that's... yeah. I couldn't tell if it was pecs or mammaries.
Well, but the thing, though, is, I mean, I kind of appreciate that they're, at least in this case, when it comes to having, male and female characters represented, they're showing that not every female character has to be this perfect, slim, hourglass, tiny kind of thing with that ass, so to speak, if I can say that. But no, I appreciate the diversity as far as like the builds and such go. Seeing the gameplay of her though, I think I would be more likely to play her than I would to play McCree, believe it or not. I like the whole kind of gravity stuff going on with using black hole to pull people away and snare people, and then her gravity bomb cannon ability looked pretty neat. But so the gameplay wise of her, looks aside and everything, does she look like a fun character to play? Yeah, she does.
Yeah, I went the other way. I'd probably rather play McCree than her.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, I'm still going to play Reaper.
He's got this Reaper thing. Really.
Yeah,
I am likely going to play Mercy just because I am intrigued with playing a support character in a game like this. Because I never played Team Fortress, so I didn't even know that you could have first-person shooter games where you could play support. And when I played Overwatch at BlizzCon, I got to play it a few times and every time I just spent playing Mercy, and I was having a blast healing people up.
Yeah, the only, like, other than going old school with Halo and stuff like that, the only shooter game I've ever really played was on Steam. It's called Loadout. And beyond the teenage giggles type stuff, you actually had a gun that you could build that would heal and shield your teammates or even yourself if you aim properly.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean the whole support thing I get, but I don't know. It was just that's not the kind of play style for me. And honestly, in my case, the reason I picked Reaper as the one I want to play is just the way his armor looks and stuff like that, and just that cinematic, that voice, that muffled voice that he had. I was like, as soon as that happened, I was like, mine. But out of the two new ones, I would go with McCree as the one I would play. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'd try them all, and maybe I'll end up liking her more than him, but I'll try him first.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yep. Let's see. 2 new characters.
Beta.
Yep. Confirmed for fall 2015.
Off BlizzCon.
I was surprised by that.
BlizzCon.
I thought beta would start sooner.
Yeah, a couple people I was talking to was like, didn't they say it was going to be early 2015 for beta?
Chris Metzen said, and it's coming sooner than you think. Well, if you mean like, well, guys, instead of it coming out in 3 years, the beta's going to be out in a year, okay?
We are Blizzard. We take our time.
Right. So I guess, yeah, sooner than we think for Blizzard, a year for the beta, and I guess, yeah, he has a point there.
Yeah. I'm honestly expecting either a date announced for BlizzCon or it already being out for BlizzCon.
Do you think there will be a quote-unquote technical alpha?
I think it's already technically in it.
But I mean, like a technical
like a public,
alpha that you'll see streamers be able to show and YouTubers do and stuff and all that.
Honestly, no, I don't. Is that something they do a lot? Because up until recently, I mean, with Heroes and I guess technically Hearthstone, they didn't really publicly have a huge technical alpha. It was all kind of behind the scenes stuff.
Well, once Heroes went into technical alpha, some like big streamers were able to get a hold of it and were able to show it off early and such. I'm wondering if they're going to do something like that with Overwatch, if as kind of part of the publicity campaign to keep the hype train rolling before it enters a major beta. They'll have some of these well-known streamers, YouTubers, and maybe podcasters. I don't know. Honestly, with Overwatch, Overwatch is a game that interests me, but I will not be heartbroken if I don't end up getting into an alpha or beta. If I get in on it at the same time that the majority of people do, that's fine. That's awesome. This is a game that I see myself having some fun in every once in a while, but it's very much like Heroes, right? I may play it once or twice a week, but not on any regular basis.
I want to be in the earliest rendition. That being said, if they do give it to streamers or podcasters, I am not on the list, and I know it. Because that'll be.
You checked with Bashok, and Bashok said, "Yeah, no, dude."
Yeah, you're not on the list. Sorry, man. No, I didn't check with him or nothing like that. It's just when I do stream, I get 1, maybe 2 people, and it's people I know. And then I don't know. I haven't checked the analytics for our show or anything like that recently, but I don't figure there's a whole lot of people listening just yet. I'm hoping eventually people will find us, but if not, I'll still do it anyway.
Are you streaming the show?
No, we are not streaming as of yet. I will not stream live without you guys' permission and that kind of thing. So
I don't care if you do or not. Doesn't matter to me.
Yeah. But anyway, they also unveiled a new map for Overwatch. Watch Point Gibraltar, which, from what they were saying, they're using the maps and even some more cinematics that they're going to throw in every now and then for bringing some story in. So I thought that was kind of cool. And then I'm calling it an Easter egg, but that's not what they called it. There's going to be like random things like in the one they just had, the Gibraltar reveal today. He's like, if you check on the computer screen, you'll find this information that will be relevant later and stuff like that. I was like, that's an Easter egg. I mean, to me, that's what that is.
Right.
So basically, get into the game, don't just go in and kill people. Pay attention to your surroundings, which you should be doing anyway.
But that requires paying attention.
Well, if you want to, kill people and not get shot through the face anyway, you probably should be paying attention anyway. So
I suppose.
Yeah. Yeah, that pretty much sums up most of Overwatch that I can recall off the top of my head.
I don't think you missed any big things, unlike Heroes.
Well, I didn't miss anything on Heroes. I don't know what you're talking about.
Uh-huh. Yeah, epic fail number 3.
Yeah.
Carry on.
Yeah, well. At least I play most of these games.
You, with your objectification.
Yep.
Except you don't play Diablo. So,
I have.
There's that.
I said most.
Yeah, don't pull the have played, because I have played everything that we're talking about, except for Overwatch, of course. But
yeah, I didn't go to BlizzCon, so I can't say I have played that either. I can say I will play it.
I'll mess around.
Speaking of speculation, since that got brought up, Ro, how do you figure the pricing is going to work? Obviously, it's 100% guesswork, but I'm just curious.
For Overwatch?
Yeah.
I really don't know because... So I'm not super familiar. I mean, since this game does seem to have a very Team Fortress 2 vibe to it from what a lot of people say in many ways, one has to wonder if it's going to follow kind of a similar thing where the money is going to come from like the cosmetics, the hats, or as they were, or just vanity stuff. Will characters be purchasable? I have a feeling that they will probably go the route of Heroes of the Storm on characters. I feel like since it's going to be nowhere near as big a roster, at least not at launch, it feels to me like they will have like 2 or 3 characters that are available for free. Mm-hmm. And then others, like, you could just unlock them if you buy them out. So I guess maybe some hybrid of their Heroes of the Storm model with things that Team Fortress 2 is doing. I really haven't a clue. I'm just kind of throwing darts at a board.
Well, I can say that I've successfully donated to the Overwatch campaign.
Mm-hmm.
I am actually wearing my Reaper t-shirt that I got this week.
Yay!
Look at you.
I know. I ordered it on Monday night, and I got it Wednesday morning.
That is super fast.
Yeah, I was like, holy cow, I wasn't expecting
Drone delivery or something?
No, just the typical...
Jeez.
I just went with the cheapest delivery, and here you go. I was like,
Color me impressed.
Yeah, so was I. I was like, holy cow. Blizzard has dropped the ball on many things. Shipping is not one of them, apparently.
Yeah.
That's badass.
Yeah.
Very cool.
All right. Does anybody have anything else?
I think we covered it, man.
Yeah,
we did good work.
We did it.
Yay!
Yes!
Episode 3 is a wrap.
And it didn't take 3 hours.
No, I was honestly worried it was going to take closer to 2, but we're cutting it pretty close to the hour-and-a-half mark at the moment.
90 minutes.
Yeah,
you called it again.
Just about, yeah. I mean, we're a little over, but I was close. All right, so as Ro would put, the business end of things. Scarlett, where can we find you?
Airy Peak. No. I have a Twitter, Scarlett_CTR, and I do have a Twitch, but I've only streamed once, so whatever. It's Scarlet _, but probably not going to be streaming much.
It's
So
not in use. It's collecting dust.
exactly. So follow me on Twitter and catch me in game.
Yay. And
Yeah.
Lat?
Guys, you can check out all my super cool in-game WoW selfies on Twitter at CTR_Lateralis or on Twitch at twitch.tv/WillGSX.
All right. Ro, how do we get a hold of you?
Well, first you would have to find out where I live. Then you could either use.
Okay, how about
hands
online?
or- Oh, okay.
How do we stalk you?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Rowow, which is spelled RHOWOW. I participate in the Realm Maintenance and Extended Maintenance podcasts. You can find Realm Maintenance at realm-maintenance.com. You can find Extended Maintenance at extendedcast.net. And yeah, check out both those podcasts. They're both fun and everything. And it's that if you're looking for a way to find other podcasts, definitely give Realm Maintenance a listen to. And again, guys, thank you for having me on. I want to say, I've listened to every episode of your show all the way back from episode 0.
Oh, I'm so
And
sorry.
you guys have come you guys have come very far from episode 0, and I can't wait for your big milestone episode 5. I've heard there's going to be quite a celebration.
There will be pie. There will be cake.
It's awesome. I hope you can have.
You to that promise.
Well, I will have pie and cake. I don't know about you guys.
You forgot punch. Got to have punch and pie.
Yes,
I'm gonna
punch pie.
spike it.
Spiked punches.
But yeah, thank you for having me on.
Oh no,
Bro, thanks for coming on.
Yeah,
man.
thanks for coming
It's great
on.
to have you.
Yeah, definitely. You were our number one choice for first guest.
Yay.
Oh, that's awesome.
So the fact that you said yes to it was just, nerdgasm.
Easy.
Yeah.
All right,
Yep.
guys. Next week.
But before that, I am still Draven Dresden. You find me on Twitter, YouTube. I got a Facebook, all that fun stuff. EpicFailPodcast.com. There's not a whole lot there at the moment. We're still working on that. Cough, cough, bios. Cough, cough.
I just remembered I gotta do that.
You don't want me to come up with your bio or you end up like Vlad. I just found out ice was harder than water.
I will get my bio done.
Yeah. Contact us however you want. Through the website, through Twitter. And we will, if you have any questions, feel free to send them in. That includes you, Ro, if you ever want us to answer a random question and get our nonsensical answers.
Done.
All right. This has been episode 3, and we will see you next week with maybe another guest. I gotta get a confirmation out of him still. But
Awesome.
yeah.
Sounds good. See you guys next week.
Yep. Have a good night, and thanks again, Ro.
No problem, and I can't wait to hear Vin Diesel on episode 4.
I am Groot.
You know, the world could always use more heroes.